Hello lovely people, and welcome back to this week's new video. Happy New Year. Welcome to my very first video of the year. This is actually take 2 of this because my sister gifted me a microphone for my camera for Christmas and I did not have it plugged in all the way. I filmed 2 videos not knowing this, so I'm filming it again. Hi. My name is Noa. I'm a bookish and lifestyle content creator born and raised and still based in New York City. If that sounds like of any interest to you of what you've seen so far, I hope you continue watching and you subscribe at the end if you so please. Today, as you can tell from the title, we will be talking about all the books that I read in 2023. Now, I'm not going to be talking about them all in detail. We'll be doing a rough overview. It's something that I've done on my channel for a couple years now. I film a clip of every book that I've read after I finished it. Some books I do forget about, but I think it's kind of a nice way to see how I change throughout the year, where I've been, especially if I brought books on vacation. But I'd like to start out this video by looking at my year-end books on Goodreads for 2023. My chin hurts, I feel like I got Botox. And then at the end of the video, I'd like to finish off by talking about my bookish goals for the new year. With this being my first video of the new year, it felt kind of perfect. I do have my lights on because it's now later in the day and I cannot see. So it's gonna be a little glare, but I have to wear my glasses because I cannot see anything without them. So let's start my screen recording and also put my phone on Do Not Disturb. 2023, my year in books. I don't quite pay attention to this very often, but I read 42,653 pages. If I don't have glasses, I do have to look this close. My goal was to read 150 books, and I completed that by reading 151 books. Yay, very exciting. First prompt here is my shortest book was 15 pages. This was The Drowning Faith by R.F. Kuang. This is book, I think it's 2.5 in the Poppy War series. It came up as an extra after I finished reading The Burning God, which is the third and final book in the trilogy. But it was a little novella, I think in Nez's point of view, or it gives you a little bit more insight into his state of mind at that time. And with it being a novella, I don't think I gave it a rating, but I did read it early on in the year, in January, I believe. Moving on, my longest book of the year was 688 pages. This is Anne Rules and Never Let Her Go. This is a true crime book. It was quite chunky. I read it over the course of 3 weeks while reading other books as well, just because of how dense it was. But this has also sparked in me my love for true crime. I would like to consume it again as books instead of just as podcasts. I do love to listen to true crime podcasts. I probably will be looking into Anne Rule's other books. I'm still catching up on My Favorite Murder. I love to kind of have a backlist of episodes to listen to. And Karen Kilgariff, one of the hosts, covered a story that Anne Rule also did, so I might look into that. My average book length in 2023 was 282 pages. I kind of was surprised by this, but also not. Typically, I do like to read books that are at least 300 pages or a little over, but I didn't quite read as much chunky books as I typically do. I didn't read as many fantasy, so that does make sense to me. I feel like sometimes if a book is within the 200 range or 250 up to 250 pages, it doesn't seem quite long enough and I'm always left wanting more. But with having books that are 15 pages long, this does make sense to me. My most shelved book by 12 million people was Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling. My least shelved book was The Super Secret Monster Experiment by Tianan. 37 people shelved this. The author reached out to me actually a few years ago to send me a book in exchange for an honest review, and this was a super secret book. So years later, obviously the author came out with a second book and they were letting me know that it is free on Kindle and I could get it if I wanted to, and I did. I believe that it's self-published, if not indie published, so it's very underground. I wish that this was more of a graphic novel comic setup, especially since that's the whole vibe that it gives off. My average rating for 2023 was 3.7. Usually my ratings range around that, so I'm not surprised. I feel like I've had a lot of 5 stars this year, mostly because of my rereads, which I'll get to, but typically my range falls between 3 to 4 stars. I will reserve no rating for nonfiction books, especially memoirs. It feels weird to rate someone's life, essentially, which is what it feels like. I will reserve 1 star for books that I DNF and 2 stars for books that I was able to complete but absolutely thought was complete and utter garbage. My highest rated book on Goodreads was Slam Dunk number 24 with a 5.0 average, which I think is totally wild and I've never seen that before. I was shocked when I saw this the first time. So Slam Dunk is a manga series about high school basketball team that goes on to compete with other teams in the country. It is a really heartfelt book. In this edition, there are 24 editions. Depending on which one you get, there's more, but this is the very last book, which makes it so much more, like the word is kando in Japanese, and it is just so much built up to this last moment, to this last book, the last game. There's so many emotions, and I think that's why people really love it, especially if you've been following them and you understand why. It's pretty heart-wrenching, and I think it's a wonderful story. I definitely recommend. My first review of the year. I believe this was my very first book of the year. This is The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley, and I gave it 3 stars. I will say nothing quite lives up to the guest list for me. She is an author that I will keep an eye out for because of how much I enjoyed the guest list, but I have not read anything by her that I loved quite as much as the guest list. And then this goes into all the books that I read in 2023, all 151 books. And my final review of the year was Stacey Willingham's All the Dangerous Things, and I truly love this. I almost couldn't believe that I was giving my very last book of the year 5 stars. It felt kind of too perfect because the book that I had read prior to this one was Slam Dunk 24, and obviously that was going to be 5 stars. So I was kind of nervous about my last book of the year and what I would end up thinking about it, especially because I was finishing this up on actually the 31st. It was amazing. And I finished off the year with my goal at 101%. Now you will see all of the clips that I took throughout the year, what I looked like in January all the way throughout to December, and I will see you back here to talk about my goals for 2024. A Holly Jolly Diwali by Sonia Lally. We Are On Our Own by Miriam Caton. Embroideries by Marjan Satrapi. The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley. Snoopy, What's Wrong with Dog Lips by Charles M. Schultz. The Burning God by R.F. Kuang. The Drowning Faith by R.F. Kuang. Unmasked, My Life-Solving America's Cold Cases by Paul Holtz. I Was Their American Dream by Malika Gharib. Black Cake by Charmaine Wilkerson. By the Book by Jasmine Guillory. Tokyo Dreaming by Emiko Jean. Cemetery Boys by Aidan Thomas. A Rogue of One's Own by Evie Dunmore. Slam Dunk Volume 1 by Inoue Takehiko. The Super Secret Monster Experiment by Tian En. Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute by Talia Hibbert. Someone Else's Shoes by Jojo Moyes. Slam Dunk 2 by Inoue Takehiko. Sometimes I Trip on How Happy We Could Be by Nicole Perkins. March, Book 1 by John Lewis, Andrew Aiden, and Nate Powell. Monstrous, Volume 2, The Blood by Marjorie Liu and Sana Takeda. Notes on Grief by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. The Villa by Rachel Hawkins. The Last Party by Claire McIntosh. What Lies in the Woods. Finley Donovan Jumps a Gun by El Cosimano. The Dating Playbook by Farah Roshan. Can't We Talk About Something More Pleasant by Roz Chast. How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling. Illustrations by Jim Kay. March, Book 2 by John Lewis, Andrew Aiden, and Nate Powell. Never Never by Colleen Hoover and Taryn Fisher. March, Book 3 by John Lewis, Andrew Aiden, and Nate Powell. The Lesbiana's Guide to Catholic School by Sonora Reyes. I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. Corduroy by Don Freeman. The Spite House by Johnny Compton. Forget Sorrow by Belle Yang. The House in the Pines by Anna Reyes. Take the Lead by Alexis Daria. Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. The Maid by Nita Prose. Night Sky with Exit Wounds by Ocean Vuong. Slam Dunk number 3 by Inoue Takehiko. A Career in Books, a novel about friends, money, and the occasional duck bun by Kate Gavino. Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmis, DNF. Emergency Contact by Mary H.K. Choi. Throwback by Maureen Gu. Those Who Helped Us by Ken Mochizuki and Kiku Hughes. What Might Have Been by Holly Miller. Stargazing by Jen Wang. If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio, DNF. First Comes Like by Alicia Rai. What My Bones Know by Stephanie Fu. I Love Dad with The Very Hungry Caterpillar by Eric Carle. Serena Singh Flips the Script by Sonia Lally. The Devotion of Suspect X by Keigo Higashino. Aisha at Last by Uzma Jalauddin. Vietnamerica by G.B. Tran. The Last Word by Taylor Adams. Infidel by Pornsak Pichetshote and Aaron Campbell. Everything's Trash But It's Okay by Phoebe Robinson. A Dash of Salt and Pepper by Kosoko Jackson. Little Secrets by Jennifer Hillier. Slam Dunk Number 4 by Inoue Takehiko. You Can't Touch My Hair and Other Things I Still Have to Explain by Phoebe Robinson. The Bangalore Detectives Club by Harini Nagendra. The Writing Retreat by Julia Bartz. The Soulmate by Sally Hepworth. Secluded Cabin Sleep 6 by Lisa Unger. Slam Dunk Number 5 by Inoue Takehiko. The Guncle by Stephen Rowley. Slam Dunk Number 6 by Inoue Takehiko. Slam Dunk Number 7 by Inoue Takehiko. The Ghosts We Keep by Mason Deaver. Cafe con Lychee by Emery Lee. Slam Dunk Number 8 by Inoue Takehiko. The Scandalous Dissolute No Good Mr. Right by Tessa Dare. Shipped by Angie Hockman. Slam Dunk Number 9, Slam Dunk Number 10, and Slam Dunk Number 11 by Inoue Takehiko. The Boyfriend Candidate by Ashley Poston. Slam Dunk Number 12. Slam Dunk Number 13 by Inoue Takehiko. In the Lives of Puppets by T.J. Klune. The Only One Left by Riley Sager. The Keeper of the Night by Kylie Lee Baker. Twice Tempted by a Rogue by Tessa Dare. Slam Dunk Number 14 by Inoue Takehiko. Slam Dunk Number 15 by Inoue Takehiko. The Golden Spoon by Jessa Maxwell. Slam Dunk Number 16 by Inoue Takehiko. Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. Slam Dunk Number 17 by Inoue Takehiko. The World Gives Way by Marissa Levian. Slam Dunk Number 18 by Inoue Takehiko. Slam Dunk Number 19 by Inoue Takehiko. Slam Dunk Number 20 by Inoue Takehiko. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets by J.K. Rowling, illustrated by Jim Kay. Slam Dunk Number 21. Slam Dunk Number 22. Schmutz by Felicia Berliner. Blindsided by Karen Slaughter. The Intern by Michelle Campbell. The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton. I'll Always Love You by Hans Wilhelm. Good Bad Girl by Alice Feeney. Kiss Cut by Karen Slaughter. The Quiet Tenant by Clemence Michelon. We Don't Swim Here by Vincent Tirado. Kismet Connection by Ananya Devarajan. Hollow by Shannon Waters, Brandon Boyer White, and Bernice Nell. Cold by Mariko Tamaki. My Only Child by Wang Ning. Omma's Table by Yongshik Hong. The Deep by Nick Cutter. Fat Chance Charlie Vega by Crystal Maldonado. The Alice Network by Kate Quinn. A Faint Cold Fear by Karen Slaughter. Bloom by Delilah S. Dawson. Woman World by Aminder Dhaliwal. Murder Book by Hilary Fitzgerald Campbell. No Filter and Other Lies by Crystal Maldonado. Stars in Your Eyes by Kaysen Callender. The Girl from the Sea by Molly Knox Ostertag. The Burning Wire by Jeffrey Deaver. Donuts and Doom by Ballas Lorenzi. I Think I Am in Friend, Love with You by Yumi Sakugawa. A Textbook Case by Jeffrey Deaver. If an Egyptian Cannot Speak English by Noor Naga, DNF. Ring Shout by P. Jelly Clark. How to Pronounce Knife by Suvankam Tamavongsa. The Princess and the Grilled Cheese Sandwich by Dea Muniz. In Limbo by Deb J.J. Lee. Kitchen by Banana Yoshimoto. The Fall of Whit Rivera by Crystal Maldonado. The Removed by Brandon Hobson. Yoko by Rosemary Wells. In the Night Kitchen by Mari Sendak. Madeline by Ludwig Bemelmans. Magic School Bus in the Haunted Museum, a book about sound by Joanna Cole and illustrated by Bruce Deegan. Sins of the Black Flamingo by Andrew Wheeler, Travis Moore, Tamara Bonvillain, Aditya Bidikar. Midnight is the Darkest Hour by Ashley Winstead. And Never Let Her Go, Thomas Capano, The Deadly Seducer by Anne Rule. The Matzo Ball by Jean Meltzer. The Chaos of Standing Still by Jessica Brody. A Winter in New York by Josie Silver. A Chair for My Mother by Vera B. Williams. Maisie's Bedtime by Lucy Cousins. Slam Dunk Number 23 by Inoue Takehiko. All the Dangerous Things by Stacey Willingham. Time 24 by Inoue Takehiko. Alrighty, I read quite a lot of books. However, my goal for 2024 is now at 140 books. I found that I was consistently behind about 7 to 8 books for a lot of the year. Because of that, I felt like I needed to... Because of that, I felt like I needed to consume more books because I wanted to reach my goal. I'm quite a competitive person. I read a lot of great graphic novels. Because of that, I was able to do a reread of a fantastic series that I love, and that's fine. But I also ended up reading some picture books, which isn't to say that's a bad thing at all. I did read some picture books because I actually wanted to. I moved in 2023, so I was sifting through a lot of old books for nostalgia, books that I grew up loving. But then there were also books that I started to pick up because I knew it would be easy and it would count for a book, which felt more like cheating. Now I did still read them, so they still should count as they are books, but it felt like I was trying to go more for quantity as opposed to quality, I guess. I know that there was a lull and I wasn't really reading as much as I could have been or wanted to also. In order to kind of scale it back and give myself a little bit of grace, I'm going to aim to read 140 books. And now if I read over that, that's fine. If I read just about, that's also fine, and that's wonderful. But I'm looking forward to it. I feel pumped of how many books I will be reading, and I look forward to all of the new reads. My second goal is one that I'm kind of continuing from last year, and it's to read 7 nonfiction books. Last year, I believe my goal was to read at least 5, and I actually was able to achieve that pretty quickly because I love to consume graphic memoirs. I think that's my favorite way to consume nonfiction. I have consumed a lot of graphic memoirs, so I don't want to make the goal too high to about 10 books and then run out of things to read. I would like to get into true crime again, so if you have true crime books that you think that I should read, please let me know. Any memoirs, not specifically graphic memoirs, but memoirs, I would love to read those as well. Maybe I'll pick up Britney Spears's. My friend Samantha really likes to consume nonfiction books, so I think I could ask her for some recommendations as well. And then my third and final goal, I'm blanking all of a sudden even though I'm acting like this is not the first time I'm filming this. My third goal is to read at least 10 books on my TBR shelf. I have a dedicated TBR shelf. Now I need to do my bookshelf organization, but I think it's gonna fill up about 2 shelves, which I don't like. I think I would like to read about 10 of those, which should dwindle down the number a lot, which obviously doesn't account for the books that I may be purchasing throughout the year and the book of the month books that I will have as well, but I would like to dwindle that number down quite a bit. I am not going to limit myself to a book buying ban this year because last year I definitely didn't purchase as many as I did previous years, especially during quarantine when I was spending a lot of money. And I feel like I've done a pretty good job of kind of keeping that, and I don't go crazy when I buy anymore. And when I walk into physical bookshelves, I love to browse, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if it's because I've just been conditioned on the no buy ban mindset, but I just blank out on every single book that I want unless I purposely go out to the bookstore looking for a specific book, and when I did that, I couldn't even find the damn thing. So it was so weird. It's just the universe is maybe sending me a sign. It's on my side saying save your money, honey. I've been pretty good. You would think I would buy more online, but I've also been kind of good about that as well because I love supporting my library. I'm there every fucking week, so I'm not going to limit myself to that. I know, shocker, I'm sure everybody is doing that book buying ban, especially in January, but I am not that person. Please let me know what your goals for 2024 are, bookish or otherwise. I would love to know, and what you're most excited to read. I am so looking forward to the rest of the year, what books I will be reading. Thank you so much for watching. As always, thank you for sticking with me, and if you're new, welcome, and I hope you stay to enjoy the ride, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!